But I was just talking about CM Punk. I know it wasn't on our task of the day, but I was talking about his little post, and I'm pretty much saying that it looks like him and AEW look like the more and more I look at it, it looks like they're done. Even though there's been speculation that he might be coming back, he pretty much just called out Chris Jericho, saying he's a hack, and saying that he's a liar, and Dave Messel's a liar, and that he was injured when he wrestled John Moxley. He shouldn't have wrestled injured, and then he deleted the story. So it just seems like with CM Punk, there's always some kind of drama. Unfortunately, this is going to be might be the end of his career. It's sad to say, in my opinion. We don't know still. Granted, we don't know at this moment whether he's coming back to wrestling or not. But for me, it looks like a sad ending to a great career. And if this is the end of it, and Sally going out, like pretty much calling everybody out. But I mean, it's only fitting if that's the case.
Well, I would say this. Hold on. Hello, testing 1 2.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm not sure if it's from the mic though, but I can hear you.
I will say this. The nigga CM Punk was not on our docket.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about anything that was without you.
No. I'm saying he's not on our docket for the simple fact that like there isn't anything relevant or tangible for us to speak upon. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. We aren't operating. We ain't operating right there. Hello. Testing. All right.
Yeah, a lot better.
All right. So yeah, man. Last time I tried to act like a rapper and front like this shit wasn't working, that nigga Cheaty was like, your mic ain't on. He treated me like I was Prince. That nigga said, your mic ain't on, nigga. Your mic ain't on. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. I thought this was for aesthetic purposes. This nigga said, no, bitch, turn your mic on. So the mic,
he didn't tell me that.
So the mic is always on. Word to Prince. You know what I'm saying?
It just sound better.
But I would say this for you said this might be the end of CM Punk. It's not glorious to be infamous, right? And shout out to, you know what I mean, Prodigy, Havoc, myself, you know what I'm saying? Like being infamous isn't necessarily something that is glamorized or pontificated as something that like that's my aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? And he seems to be really affected by being infamous. You know what I mean? So like you have every control of that. You know what I mean? Like the when you came back again, this would be my same sentiment forever on the second run. I don't give a fuck who you was previously. Your reputation does not precede you unless you're a G. If you working on yourself and progressing and being better and not trying to have things castrate you on your way to being different or being better or making this situation anything unlike the last place, you ain't do a really good job of putting forth real effort into it not seeming like that. You know what I mean? And we have conversations realistically outside of wrestling, just be like, yo, like 1% of being better is definitely better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those incremental moral whatever we want to call them, like they matter in the grand scheme of how people perceive you, because they're going to say, hey, he's trying. There's no evidence here that shows that he's been trying. You know what I'm saying? And when he came in, everybody was a little hesitant. Everybody was very appreciative because of course, what he does lend to the business is cachet. But again, AEW popped off without him. They had their first couple all outs without him. They sold out a couple arenas. They did a really good job. And when he got champion, got hurt, they did really good without him. When he wanted to be a bitch and left, they did pretty good. Like they don't necessarily need the shit. They don't need the shit.
For what he brings, I wonder if it's diminishing returns. I wonder if I were to ask Tony Khan for what CM Punk brought your company, is it all worth it? And I feel like sometimes we harp on it. We just blame one man and CM Punk on the drama, but it seems to always surround him some way somehow because he's a lightning rod, man. The guy just he lives it. He's himself all the time, and he can't help but talk. When it's on, set the record straight. When he hears the rumors, it gets some. It's not like he can ignore it. Even if Chris Jericho's talking shit, let him talk shit. You don't even gotta go out and talk bad about the company and what happened, because especially if you're still in a contract, like you just, if you're not in a contract and you're getting paid to go out and do a appearance and you're talking about it in hindsight of how things went, is different than you're under contract and you're talking, about the people in the company. And but if they are lying about you, then I get why he does it, but you don't necessarily have to go about that way. It's not for me to judge, and I don't know if he's getting better. I don't know if his take on things and how he moves, because he seems like a guy who's like a fuck you type of dude. Like, and what I mean by that is, if you ain't with me, it's fuck you. If you ain't on my, there's no in between. There's no gray area. Like, you either on my side or it's fuck you.
Moxie's a fuck you type of guy too, but he also does really good business.
Yeah.
Right. Like Moxie's a fuck you guy,
But he's going to do business, and it's never going to be at the detriment of the business. Right now, CM Punk letting niggas in behind the curtain. Why is the access being given and granted to people who don't know what to do with it? Like us, we're pundits. Mm-hmm. We're like, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't even know what you guys are arguing about, and this is beyond us. like bro,
true.
This is beyond us just booking matches, bro. Yeah. You talking about an MVP, a EVP's responsibilities of running a company, and we don't know what the fucking executive vice president is supposed to be doing of a wrestling promotion. But what we deemed as what they were doing right, they were doing pretty correct. They got a TV deal. They re-upped the TV deal. They're signing people. They got money. They got right. They seem to be doing very, very well at their responsibilities while also being really good wrestlers.
He got asked one question and use that question to go on a fucking rant on like everybody he had a beef with, and that's not on anybody else but CM Punk.
And so that's what I mean as far as getting better. He did the same thing with he did the same thing with Cole Cabana when he left, right? When it was on a podcast and aired out the dirty laundry of I had a staph infection and I was so did Mox, right? And guess what Mox did? He got infected. He wrestled through it. He had surgery. He had a life scare and left the fucking place. Same scenario, but guess what we didn't hear from Mox? The bitch fest. Guess what Mox said? Are you coming back? Man, fuck them niggas. I'd rather do blood matches in GCW. I'd rather go to New Japan. I'd rather be in AEW. I'm never fucking going back to this place. Love to my brothers there. I love everybody there. That's not what the fuck we got from CM Punk. At no fucking point in time. He was gone 7 years. Was sending shots at Seth Rollins when he was working at Fox.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he has a chip on his shoulder. He's bitter, and I don't know if that will ever go away. But I pray for CM Punk. I hope he's doing well. I hope that he can find.
You can't pray for somebody that's an atheist, brother.
That's true. I send him great energy. I don't know what the fuck to say. Shit, CM Punk, man. I wanna give like you bail, yo. I wanna cut CM Punk some bail, but it's like so hard sometimes, man. And I like the guy because I like authenticity. The guy's authentic to him. Like I can't but at the end of the day, he's not necessarily very diplomatic. He's not very I don't know. He needs a PR. He needs like some PR or something.
But
PR
crazy.
training.
The reason, listen, I'm only critical of CM Punk because I'll be CM Punk in that same position. Like
Yeah.
that's the like me. You know what I'm saying? Like a buck against the system. Like I got here on my own volition. Y'all signed me in ROH and all the CZW shit that I was doing. All like you knew who Punk was. Like you knew what I did. And yeah, I wanted to kind of try to change with it. Like we all have that mentality. And when it don't work, we get broken down and we get discouraged and we be like, man, we going through the motions, and then they toss you a bone and you get happy.
Yeah.
But all in all, my nigga, like I know too that if somebody says something to me that I don't like,
it's going down. Like
so
there's
like
no in between.
it's no in
But
between.
I feel like with wrestling, there's going to be ups and downs no matter what. If anything you do in life, there's going to be ups and downs, and wrestling especially. But I don't think he rides those downs as easy as those ups.
And I don't think that and to with that being said, then to piggyback on that, if it's your passion, you go through that with grace.
Yeah, and some level of grace. I think he did for a long time and got fucking tired of it and was like, whatever it is, I am CM Punk. I get to say what I want to say. I know how good I am at this.
Until now his words don't matter. Right? Like he lived long enough to be a villain. Right? Like you did like his
either die here or live long enough.
Like his words had validity. His words were something that we ran to Bray. You know what I'm saying? Let's just run right into it, right? You wanted to talk about Bray and to see if there is any salvageable qualities within the character or the persona or whatever the case may be. And I would say this: he's at a point where creatively in a character, nobody give a fuck about what he gotta say. And when you get, and honestly, when you get there is technically no way to be salvageable unless you're purely authentic, right? Punk, if you're going to put the message out there, leave it
out there. Yeah,
leave it.
Stand on your shit.
Bruh, the live goes away in 24 hours anyway. We already took the screenshot, bitch. Leave the fuck up there.
I'm not sure if he took it down or if it was 24-hour thing, but maybe he did take it down. I don't know. But all I know is, man, it's unfortunate the way things are going with him. Even with Bray, it's unfortunate in my mind because, Bray, I was super excited for his WrestleMania this year because we haven't seen a WrestleMania in 2 years, and I thought this would be a big moment for him. But since he's been back, I don't know what they're doing. I just don't. And now he's injured or he's sick and there's a health scare. So obviously take the time, get healthy more than anything. I hope prayers up for Bray and hope that he is healthy and he gets back soon. But it's sad he's not there at WrestleMania again. And it's like for me, a Bray fan, maybe I'm being a mark about it. Maybe I'm just a fan who's like, man, I want to see my favorite wrestler at WrestleMania. But whatever it may be, whether it be injury, whether it's creative problems, whatever it may be, he has to be salvaged. There's no other recourse other than to come back and be your salvage. And I can be patient with the Uncle Howdy thing, and I can be patient with that Funhouse and where you're going to go with it. But we gotta go from these meta big concepts and bring it down to base fundamentals with these storytelling aspects of Bray Wyatt. And it's just about motivation, explained clearly, and then you can add all the ethereal craziness around that. But motivation, more than anything, has to be explained clearly. Motivation we know what the motivation is for Cody Rhodes. We're super invested in it because the storyline was told in one promo with him and Paul Heyman. Boom, we got it. We're locked in. We know Sami Zayn was supposed to face Roman Reigns, and we were excited for that. But one promo, we got Cody's motivation in there. Boom, we were locked in for Cody's story. Everything going around, and in story, with pay-per-view coming up. What are you fighting for? And I want to know what Bray is fighting for, whether it be face, heel, or whatever. We always, like I always say in the past, we had that with Bray when he came to such a organic, authentic, for breath of fresh air with the Wyatt family. All those guys, did something special, and it brought on these storylines with Bryan Danielson, John Cena, Roman Reigns that we can remember today. This next version of Bray is what we stamp his legacy. Like, he's already had a legacy, but this is where you become super legendary, I think. And in my eyes. And I think that, or you become somebody who's just like interchangeable, like a, like a Big Show, who's like, yeah, come in here and work with somebody.
Well, I mean, listen, Big Show's legendary, so
Yeah, you know what I mean, man. Like,
I mean,
there's certain tiers to that
well,
legendary
I,
status.
I would say this: Bray Wyatt does bring some level of differentiation within the programming for the simple fact that there's no other aesthetic like him. There is no version of storytelling like lack thereof. There's no rambling rabbit the way that Bray Wyatt can ramble, right? Regardless if it leads to nothing, he can fill a segment better, worse, indifferent, but different than anybody, right? Because if you feel indifferent about it because you don't know where it's going, that is where he doesn't want to be. You want to be where you either like it or you don't like it because it gives a reaction. Now, as a creative, there's not a thing that I want to give out there that is not liked, right? Shout out to Andre Hell and podcast made in the corner the corner podcast. Fudge, I can look it up while I'm talking, but they compare Bray to M. Night Shyamalan. You know what I'm saying?
Good comparison, right?
Well, I know, but the premise of it is that he got hot with one good thing, and we've been giving him over and over, and he ain't been making a hot shit since. And I had to think about, like, damn, has M. Night Shyamalan really been considered as a one trick pony around this motherfucker? Like, has he not put out anything good since?
Nah, Sixth Sense. I got Signs. The others, all those were good to me. So, like me, though, I'm one person. The masses might feel differently. They might think that Sixth Sense is the only good thing, but like, and that's how it is with Bray. With me, I like the Fiend. I like the Funhouse and what he did last run. This run though is becoming really like it's becoming really the Village-est. Like where no one knew what the fuck was going on and didn't care. And then you get the payoff and it's just not good enough. It's just not what we wanted. So, and then the payoff, we're not even getting one at WrestleMania.
Sorry, Kel Dansby. I'm sorry. Go ahead. But with that being said, this is if we're filmmakers, right? We're screenwriters. We're screenplay, right? If this is Act 1 is slow, so what? You turn off if you're in a film, it's a slow Act 1. Are you walking out and be like, man, this man is fuck? Or will you give it its justice and give it an Act 2, give it an Act 3? Because guess what? This shit is already booked for a sequel, nigga.
I mean, we don't. I mean, I hope it is because we haven't even gotten through Act 1. If you're saying, and guess what? Act 2. You know what's happening? It's not happening. So we gotta just jump to Act 3 because he's injured.
Well, no,
or he's sick.
No. I won't say we can't jump to Act. We can't Act to jump to. I will say this. We didn't. You're right. We didn't know the direction of Bray Wyatt when he came in. But let's go here. You wanted this direction to be Roman Reigns when he came. If he would have went the direction of Roman Reigns, we'd probably still be having a situation because Cody's getting his WrestleMania spot. Bray's not getting his WrestleMania. Sammy's not getting his WrestleMania. Rock's not getting his WrestleMania. Right? All the things like Bray is low on that totem pole when we're talking about going after the big dog, and he wouldn't feel as big as any of the. Sammy feels bigger than Bray going after him because he has been gone for so long. Cody feels better than Bray because he came back from the pectoral muscle WrestleMania. Seth feels like everybody feels better,
of course,
even if Rocky came in for a one-shotter. You know what I'm saying? Like he's hotter. So if Bray is just a stopgap because he's been here 6 months, then we're still like, well, where does he go from here? Because he went to the top. He goes to the bottom.
That was like when I said that was a while ago. It was like back when we were just getting the red, the White Rabbit stuff. That was right after Drew McIntyre lost at Clash of Champions. That is when I was like, oh, let's just put him with Roman. Like right now, even if he doesn't win, cool. That's before we even knew War Games was going to happen. Like that's why I said that, because clearly in their mind they had a plan for War Games already in place. So yeah, Bray is nowhere near that. He's just coming back. yeah, we ain't touching him in that space. You know, we can get him high and eventually go after that. But you got to give him somebody you can sink your teeth in. I don't care if it was Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. I don't care if it's fucking Ricochet or Braun Strowman. I don't care who it was. It had to be a really good angle. And him and LA Knight, it did probably more for LA Knight than Bray, but it wasn't something that captivated the audience. And then
I would say this testament to LA Knight. Because a lot of people will say that once you get into a feud with Bray Wyatt, then you get left in shit. Clearly, Bray's propelling or involvement of LA Knight helped the propelling of LA Knight. I won't say Bray propelled LA Knight because LA Knight.
Yeah. But shit. Him coming out there, smacking him, having the mic time on TV with one of the most must-see people.
Now, boom. Let's go to logic. Business and logic. Hey, Bray ain't hot enough to be, because if we give him Karrion Kross, it ain't good. If we give him Drew McIntyre, what are they feuding about? Right? Like you say, it's nothing that's really tangible. You know what I'm saying?
Karrion Kross, honestly, would have probably been a better fit for me. I'll be honest with you, because they have that dark element.
I would have liked it. Liked it.
He has that dark element to him with the TikTok and everything. Bray's a main eventer, or he has been a former champion. Come on, let's go. Like that's would have been interesting to see, and see Bray, and him clash. But it's a thing where it was the story all along. It wasn't, even if it was LA Knight, it's fine. It's just the story all along got completely muddled. When he came back, telling you, it was a fever pitch. People needed to see Bray. Like that pop was real, bro. Like that pop was crazy. One of the best moments of last year was him arriving and us, saying, will he come?
But he was just, that's the thing though. The moment was not that he was coming back for a moment.
And then the promo too that he did after, like, was great.
Which goes back to when we talked about the split personality shit like that. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, if it's Uncle Howdy, I can't get right. So before we even got into what the act could be, we were already like, man, if it's Bo Dallas, man, this shit is shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I'm not being facetious. I'm not the hyperbole. We were the niggas having that conversation, nigga. You was like, man, I can't suspend disbelief. Believe it was Bo Dallas. And I'm like, nigga, what?
Yo, like you gotta be more creative than that. Like, if this is like, you need to give some context into it. Like, even if Bo Dallas is in the mask and all that stuff, I don't want you to tell me it's Bo Dallas. Just keep him in as Uncle Howdy. That's it. Period. Don't ever tell me it's him.
Nobody told you that it was him.
All right.
No, I'm saying, I'm saying, like, if you like, who's this Uncle Howdy nigga? And I'm like, well, Uncle Howdy's Bo Dallas. They're giving Bo Dallas something. You're like, no, nigga, let it be an independent worker. Don't let it be Bo Dallas. I'm like, yo, I
thought you meant like, because here's the thing, the Uncle Howdy thing. I thought it was going to be a reveal at that point. Like, I thought like they were going to reveal it on TV of what it meant to him. I thought if you're talking about somebody just acting another role as a character, like a Kane mask, that's different. Put him in a mask. Dr. Isaac Yankem is now Kane. Boom, I can accept it. But I'm talking about from who was Uncle Howdy. When I asked the question, I meant who was Uncle Howdy to Bray? Who was he to Bray? Who did he represent? Why is this guy following him around and telling him to do bad things?
But we did get the outside the ropes or on the Ryan Satin joint out of character. When he said everybody that's in my universe is somebody that is legitimately in my universe. And we've already tried to piece together Waylon Mercy, or Dan Spivey, right? Right. If you know about Dan Spivey and Mike Rotunda, you know what I'm saying? Like that, and Waylon Mercy, if you know about Waylon Mercy, and then Hawaiian Shirt Bray, Ramblin' Rabbit, or Sister Abigail, or Husky Harris, Husky the Pig, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all of those people. I think we had the conversation about Uncle Howdy. Like, we don't know